All right, guys, welcome to another week of Resell Recap. My name is David, for those of you guys that are new to this channel. And essentially just gonna be going over my week of resale this past week. It was a very big week and I unfortunately took a lot of L's, but let's not waste any more time and let's go ahead and hop in to today's video. All right, guys, so first, before we hop into this week's content or last week's resale L's, I did want to go over what I did cop this week, or what came in the mail this week, just to give you guys a little of a sort of visualization of what reselling actually looks like. So let's just go ahead and hop into it. All right, guys, so the first item that we picked up this week was the Air Jordan Light Smoke, or the Shadow Low is what some people are calling them. We had the highs that released beforehand, so this is kind of like the low version of that. I do really like this colorway. This is something that I would definitely wear. Unfortunately, this is not my size. This is actually a 9.5. I wear size 10, so these are going straight to resell. A couple things to note, like all Jordan 1 lows that aren't retros. With these, you've got the Jordan Jumpman logo on the tongue. You've got the 23 for the lace lock, but everything else is essentially your standard Jordan 1 shoe. I really like this colorway. The biggest thing that I don't like about the shoe, and this is just Jordan 1 re-releases, or not necessarily re-releases, but Jordan 1 releases. Anything outside of retros, I feel like the leather quality is just not the same. I'm a huge fan of that pebbled leather look that you see or you find on Jordan 1s or the retros, and these just don't have that. But in terms of overall like quality and just overall look and design, I think this is a very dope looking shoe. I would definitely rock it if it was in my size, but unfortunately it's not. So this is going straight to resale. All right, so next on the list, we have the Jordan 1 Court Purple Lows. I copped a lot of Jordan 1s the past few weeks. This was essentially just a restock. There was a lot of Jordan 1 restocks this week. There were the light gray light smoke retros that highs that dropped or restocked. We had the reverse Jordan 1 low breads that also restocked. I believe there might have been a UNC low restock as well. And then I was able to get my hands on the Court Purple Lows. Same experience, same look as the smoke gray or the low shadow. Pretty much nothing different outside of the colorway, the color blocking. I'm a huge fan of this colorway as well. This is actually my size, but I prefer highs as well over Jordan 1 lows, unless it's the UNC lows and the Costin Nike SB Jordan 1 Dunk UNC lows. Those are pretty ideal. But again, you got the Jordan Jumpman logo on the tongue. You also got the 23 lace lock. Everything is your standard Jordan 1. And again, I cannot say this enough, but I'm not a huge fan of the quality of the leather on the Jordan 1 lows. But again, for the person that is looking to add Jordan 1s to their collection, I don't really think there's really nothing to go wrong with when it comes to a Jordan 1. And I would say in general, right now, we're getting a lot of Jordan 1s that are coming out, a lot of dunks that are coming out, and a lot of Jordan 1s that are coming out, which is good and bad. In terms of the Jordan 1s that we are getting, I feel like we're not getting the ones that we really want to get, right? We've been getting a lot of mids, been getting a lot of lows, but not a whole lot of retros. You know, I'm stoked that there's this resurgence of dunks that are coming out, which I can't really complain about that, especially growing up skateboarding here in California. I feel like dunks were a part of shoes that I would typically skate in, so I'm definitely stoked on that. But I'm really hoping Nike the rest of this year will start to bring out some more Jordan 1 retros, because these lows and these mids are just not it. They just don't feel the same way as a typical retro Jordan 1. But again, you know, we can't be upset. We're getting the releases. We're getting a ton of releases. The past few weeks, we've had a ton of releases. We've had Off-White. We've had tons of Yeezys. We've everything that everybody's wanted. You know, we can't really complain as sneakerheads. So that is what we had that came in the mail today. So let's talk a little bit more about how this week went. Monday, we had the Kith Olympic Capsule collection, or Team USA Capsule collection. This was a really dope collection. I did not have the chance to, or I didn't attempt to set up for copying on this release. Last week was a very busy week for me at work, so I didn't really have time to really set up for a lot of releases that week. But everything in that collection was really, really dope. The track pants, as well as the windbreaker, the jacket, both in the white and in the blue colorway, were pretty fire, as well as the dad hats that released as well. Those were pretty fire. I didn't cop anything there. Another thing that happened Monday was I had ordered a pair of the Yeezy Blue Oats last Saturday from 18 Montrose, and Monday I got a cancellation letter that I guess apparently they had oversold, and I was one of those individuals that didn't make the cut for getting a pair of the Blue Oats. So I missed out on the Blue Oats. Correction, that was 2 weeks ago. I had put in an order for the Blue Oats, the 380s, and on Monday I got a letter from 18 Montrose that I did not make the list. I did not make the cut for getting my pair of Blue Oats. So they sent me a refund. Kind of bummed, because I've actually been a fan of the 380s, and I know a lot of people have not, but I think in terms of a more futuristic look at where kind of like Yeezy is going, I like it. It's very alien-like. It's very different. It's very weird. So, you know, I found it. I'm pretty stumped. I'm pretty, not stumped, but bummed. So, but you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you take a W, sometimes you take an L. Tuesday and Wednesday, we didn't have a lot of releases. It was definitely a very slow week to start, I guess you could say. But I did spend Tuesday and Wednesday taking a lot of time trying to fill out raffles for the Grateful Dead dunks, as well as the Off-White Jordan 4s. So that's pretty much what I spent Tuesday and Wednesday doing. Again, like I said, it was a very busy week, so it was nice not having to worry about releases those specific days, and I could just focus on entering raffles. I probably entered around 10 different raffles for each shoe. My plan, hopefully in the future, is to pick up a Hyper Raffle bot or another bot to use for these raffles. I know a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers, sneaker YouTube, are against bots, but you know, in this day and age, we can't go to stores to pick up shoes, and it's getting more and more difficult to pick up shoes when you have bots, or you're going against bots that are, you know, one person's getting 30 clips, or one person is, you know, scooping up an entire collection. You know, you've got to fight fire with fire. If you can't beat them, join them. So that's kind of my rationale behind it. You know, I do it for personal as well as for resale, but I think a lot of people need to keep in mind that picking up stuff with a bot is not just plug and play. It's not just you enter in what you want and then you're automatically going to get it. You know, you're battling against, you know, hundreds of thousands, maybe if not millions of people for, you know, maybe upwards of 100,000, maybe even less than that, 50,000 sneakers. So your chances of copying things right now are very, very limited. So, you know, in my opinion, you know, having a bot, you know, it is what it is. I enjoy it. It's fun. I enjoy the community. So, yeah, so Tuesday and Thursday, spent that time entering raffles. You know, took a lot of L's, but hey, it allowed me to use my time wisely. Thursday, we had the Air Force One Drew League drop that took place. Air Force Ones, there's so many different Air Force Ones. Air Force Ones are kind of like Dunks and Jordan 1s. I'm not a huge fan of Air Force Ones in particular. I had a pair back in the day when I was a kid. But I did see the Air Force Ones Craft that I believe released this weekend. Those were pretty dope. Those are something that I would wear, especially on the night out, hanging out with my crew. You know, having a nice pair of clean Coke White Air Force Ones. I think you can't really, like, you can't go wrong with that. It's kind of like a staple shoe that you have. You know, you have your Chucks, you know, maybe you have a pair of Vans, and then you also have a pair of Air Force Ones, and you have a pair of Dunks. Like, that's not bad of a rotation. But with the Drew League Air Force Ones, wasn't really sold on them. It's a cool idea, but just wasn't a fan, so I didn't pick them up. Friday, we had the Air Jordan 12 University Gold. I was actually able to get my hands on these. I wish I was able to get more. Again, it was a busy week for me, so I didn't really have time to set up a bunch of tasks and monitor. So I kind of just set up 5 different tasks and ran those tasks. And I was able to get a size 7.5 for these. I think these with, I would say 1 through 12, maybe 1 through 14. 1 through 12. I feel like these are kind of like classic Jordan. Well, they are classic Jordan silhouettes, but these are always going to be things that are always going to like resell well, in my opinion, especially if you hold it for a very long time. I bought the Retro 11. Was it Retro 11 breads? What was it? Let me see. I got my account up. Let me check my account history. StockX. I sell a lot on StockX. StockX, probably, yeah. So I had the 2019 playoff breads that I bought for $180, $190, and then I sold them for $330 a few months later. So I think that's the thing with all Jordans, is that if you hold Jordans for a while, you're gonna be able to get your money back, if not more. So that's kind of my approach with those. I did sell my Chicago mid, or my Jordan 1 mid Chicago Black Toes this week. Not as much as I would have liked to resell them for, but I still got more than what I paid for them, so I can't really complain. So if you are in that position, I would say, and I think I'm kind of now leaning more towards reselling Jordans more than any other shoe, just because Jordans are always shoes that people want, and the releases that everybody wants only get re-released every so often. So it's probably gonna be a while before we see the 11 breads re-released. It's probably gonna be a while before we see UNC's re-released. So if you buy a pair when they do retro them and you hold them 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever, those shoes, you're gonna be able to like make your money on those shoes as compared with like Yeezys, or compared with, Boosts, Ultra Boosts, or any of these other sort of like shoes. I feel like those are all like quick flips that you want to do, but with Jordans you can always just resell them. So that's kind of where I'm leading, especially with all these Jordan 1 restocks, these mids and these lows. I'm kind of stocking up on them and holding them for quite some time, and then planning on reselling them down the road. Friday we also had the Grateful Dead Dunk SBs. These were pretty interesting because I think on Nike.com or the sneakers app, it was only the optic yellow pair, and then skate shops had the green pair. I took an L across the board. I entered as many raffles as I could, as I mentioned earlier. And then the sneakers app, I don't even really waste my time with the sneakers app anymore, because I don't remember the last, I've hit once on a pair of retro ones, my Crimson Tints. And since then, I have not hit on anything outside of shoes that people don't want. And there hasn't really been anything that has released that I kind of wanted. Most stuff sells really fast. And yeah, so I took an L on these Grateful Dead Dunks. I'm kind of bummed, especially because of the fact that before Benny Gold in SF closed last year, I was able to get a Benny Gold Grateful Dead tie-dye shirt, and so I wanted to get this pair to match with that tie-dye shirt. So I'm kind of bummed I wasn't able to get my hands on these, just because it kind of, like, Benny Gold was a pretty big inspiration for me. Apart from my job, I do freelance graphic design. I did it more when I was in college, and it helped me to make extra money on the side, and Benny Gold was one of those biggest inspirations there. So it I was kind of bummed, because if I would have got these, it would have completed the sort of like inspiration fit for me, because of that whole story there. But it is what it is. I think I'll probably end up paying resale for these down the road, just because I do want these because of that story. Unfortunately, it's going to be over $1,000, but we'll see. Maybe I can get them for a deal. Maybe I can get them used. So if you guys are looking to sell your Grateful Dunk SBs, let me know. Maybe I might think about entertaining some offers to sell if you guys are looking to sell. And yeah, that's all we had Friday. It was just the Jordan 12s and the Dunks. So let's go to Saturday. Saturday was another L day for me. Actually, I take that back. Saturday morning, I was able to get my hands on the Australia Olympic release Air Prestos in my size, which is pretty dope. So I'm gonna keep those as a personal just because I like that colorway, that aqua blue or teal, white and gold colorway. And I mean, again, it's just kind of like, I like those shoes that have, you know, a little bit of a story to them, because originally those only released in Australia. So I was able to get my hands on those. So I'm waiting for those to come in. I'm pretty stoked on that. Yeah, so Saturday we had the Yeezy Blue Oat that released. I did not get my hands on those because, as I mentioned before, I wasn't planning on picking anything up this weekend. And then I got actually no, I think it was middle of the week. But I wasn't planning on getting the Blue Oats because I had a reserved pair, and then that order got canceled. And then when Saturday came, or Friday came, it was like, okay, do I set up for the Blue Oats, or do I focus on the Jordan 4s that we're also releasing? So I decided to scrap the idea of trying to go for the 380s. I did enter the Adidas app raffle for the 380s, but I did not get a pair. So I spent pretty much all of Friday night and Saturday morning focusing on the off-white 4s. That was a pretty big mistake. It was a complete and utter shit show, for lack of a better term. I was probably up until 1 in the morning waiting on the site trying to get a pair. And I just took a fat L. It was pretty, you know, it was cool because in my Kith group, everybody was pretty much up trying to get their hands on them. And the site just kept, it was working at first. So I got all the way through to the product page, add to cart. And with the add to cart, you had to verify your phone number in order to actually add it to cart. And so right when I entered my phone number to add it to cart, they actually shut the site down. So at that point, I was shit out of luck. I don't have any bots that work on the Off-White website. So that was pretty much an L. And then come Saturday morning, I always take L's on the sneakers app. So I tried, didn't work. I went 410 in women's. I just couldn't get it. And then they also did a re-release of the Off-White Jordan apparel collection as well. I tried to go for the shirt, couldn't get it. Tried to go for the jumpsuit, couldn't get it. So it was pretty much L's all around. I mean, I can't complain. I was able to get a confirmed pair of Zions that are coming in. I got the Air Prestos that came in this week. That was pretty much it. It was a pretty slow week for me. I'm hoping this week at work will be a little bit more low key, so I can, you know, focus on these flips a little bit more. But like I said, I think I'm pretty much gonna be focusing more on Jordans than I am on any other brand as far as sneakers go, because they're always in demand. Like, everybody wants Jordan 1s. You know, if you can buy them and hold them, you're pretty much going to make your money back regardless. You know, there will be restocks, especially with the lows and the mids, but if you can get a pair of retros, those are pretty much always going to go. If you can get a pair of 4s, you're pretty much going to be again, I would say anything between 1 and 12 is probably going to always have resale value. And so yeah, so that's kind of where I'm planning on focusing my time and attention. This week, there's going to be so many shoes that I won't say so many shoes. There's going to be a couple collabs that I think are worth looking at. We have the Asics Ronnie Fag collab that's releasing on Kith on Monday, so make sure you guys are not sleeping on that one. And then apparently there's supposed to be a Yeezy day next Sunday. I don't know how true that is going to be. A lot of people are saying that that's not true, but a lot of people are saying that based off of what happened last year, we could see that happen. I wouldn't be surprised if that was to take place. especially with the way that Kanye's been on Twitter. I wouldn't be surprised, so just keep your eyes out if there is gonna be something. I know there's a countdown timer for, I think, a pair of 350s that are supposed to be releasing this week, but don't be surprised if there is a Yeezy day on Sunday. You heard it from me. I could be wrong. I'm willing to be wrong, but I just want to share with you guys ultimately my journey with reselling, as well as bodying, my knowledge, all the things that I'm learning, and share that with you guys that are looking or interested in getting into the world of sneakers, resale, and whatnot. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button, as well as hit that like button so that I know I'm creating the content that you guys want to see. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.